I went to a 21 Pilots concert and I was robbed of an experience. Okay, so I wanted to explain this story because I don't know, it happened and it was kind of shitty. This was a situation that not only affected me, it affected a lot of other people. So I kind of wanted to make this and see if there was anyone else out there who was in the same boat as I was for this concert. For some background context, I went to the 21 Pilots concert in Chula Vista on October 23rd, 2025. It's the first time that I've ever camped out for a concert in my entire life. And I just really want to point out just the neglect from the venue security because it at least no one got hurt, but like it could have, it was bad. It was bad and it could have ended with someone getting hurt. And I'm personally pissed off because I should have been barricaded for this show and I wasn't because of the security. So we're gonna explain this. We're gonna explain the situation. Also, I really don't see a whole lot of people talking about this, so that's why I kind of want to be like, let me just put this on my channel. We'll see if anyone out there had a similar experience. But anyways, again, I'm gonna be explaining this just from like my perspective. So this is like story time with Trevin. That's how you can see this video, I guess. Okay, so Wednesday, the day before the concert. The concert's happening Thursday night. Wednesday. So it's very common with 21 Pilots concerts for the line to begin the day before the concert. And the line had attempted to start at a few different locations nearby the venue, but every single time venue security had kicked people out. I personally was not there for any of this, but I saw it all happen because I was added to a group chat on Instagram that was for a lot of people who are going to be in the pit for Chula Vista. So I was in this chat and I was seeing that there was some drama happening with, I guess, the security had kept telling them like, hey, you can't line up here, you need to line up over here. But then they would go over there and then some other security person would be like, no, you can't go over there. So it was kind of a mess. And at one point it was just kind of decided like, hey, let's just not even camp out for this. Let's just come in at like 3 a.m. and we'll all just line up then. So I thought that was what was happening. At around like noon that day, I began driving. I had like a 7 to 8 hour long drive that I had to make to Chula Vista. So for a lot of it, I was completely unaware of what was happening during everything. But I finally get to Chula Vista. It's like 9 p.m. at this point. I check into my hotel thinking I'm gonna sleep in my hotel tonight. It's gonna be fine. I'm gonna wake up like hella early and just go to the venue and we're gonna see what happens. But then I see in the group chat that I guess there is a group of people who are camping out and they have like contacted the security and they've gotten permission from the venue security that they can camp out there. So I was like, oh, all right, I guess I'm camping out now. For further context, I've wanted to do this since I was like, I don't know, 13 years old, and I saw like a video of them performing live for the first time, and I was like, I want to be there. So that's kind of where we're at right now. So I'm gonna show screenshots like of Google Maps so that you know kind of where I was at this point. But we were on the corner of Main Street and Heritage. That's where I took an Uber. I was dropped off there and I met up with the line leader. The line leader gave me a wristband. I still have the wristbands. Hold on. They gave me this wristband, this yellow wristband. I was number 47. These wristbands don't technically mean anything as far as the venue goes, but these were just more like something that the fans had created to really like have some sort of line system, some sort of queue, so that when the actual wristbands are given out at 8 a.m. or what we thought was going to be 8 a.m., then we would get our actual spot in line. But this is just so that like we can kind of like go to sleep and not worry about like who came before who. So I got number 47. I arrived maybe a little after 9 p.m. I don't exactly remember what time it was, but I think it was a little after 9 p.m. I went to sleep, or at least I tried to go to sleep. This is the first time I've ever done something like this. So I think I slept maybe for an hour. I don't know. I was just trying to sleep. There was a lot of cars going down that road, so it wasn't the greatest, but whatever. At 4 a.m. I woke up and because they put us all in like a different Instagram group chat for everyone who was like in this group camping out, and everyone started moving. Everyone got up and was moving to a different location. So we went down to Heritage Road and Entertainment Circle. So we all lined up based on our wristband, and it was a little bit complicated because some people didn't have a wristband because they didn't like meet up with the line leader, or or they were camping out somewhere else. It was actually, for the most part, kind of efficient, or at least a lot more efficient than what's to come. I was actually really surprised at just how efficient the fans, because we were not getting any help from security at this point. This was just the fans coming together and being like, all right, number 1 goes here, number 2 goes here, number 3, and then it just went all the way down. So I lined up where I was supposed to in number 47. We waited in like on that corner for I think like 45 minutes, maybe an hour. And then we began walking down Entertainment Circle and began to line up like where the admission gate would be. We were there for quite a while. Before that, though, there was, I guess, some drama with, I guess there were some people who were trying to cut, and it was actually not too far away from where my spot was. I just kept seeing, like, because I would just check the 2 Instagram group chats that I was in now, and people were not happy. Personally, I was like, okay, I'm number 47. I'm still gonna get a good spot, even if, like, a few people cut, so I don't care that much, but it does kind of suck. It's definitely not fair. It was, I think, 3 people, so I wasn't freaking out too much, but we were still told by the venue security, because we had been or not we, I say we as if I was a part of this, the line leader and like the people who were kind of organizing this line had been in contact with the venue security, and the venue security said that they're just going to go off of the yellow wristband. So if you have a yellow wristband, they're going to give you like that number. So I was under the impression that I was going to get number 47. I wasn't too worried. I was like, okay, 47, that sounds great. There's like I think 1,000 person capacity to the pit. So that's really good. The venue wanted us to like move the line down from where we were like 20 feet because we were kind of like blocking like a emergency vehicle entrance. I guess the people that did cut were like really upset about this. I don't know. I was not aware. I was still like very tired. I think I had my AirPods in. I don't even know what was happening, but I guess there were some people who were upset about that. I was just like, okay, whatever, we're moving, that's fine. The night before this, or I guess the night that like I was camping out, 21 Pilots had performed a private show in LA at the Bellwether. In hindsight, I was actually told, because I had a friend that did go there, and she told me that I guess they were just giving out tickets for free at the box office if you showed up and just asked, which kind of pisses me off because I was literally driving through LA like that day. I could have just gone there, but it's whatever, it's fine. Anyways, because they did perform the show in LA, the entire crew had not showed up to Chula Vista yet. There was still a lot of people who were just not there because it was the band that was giving out the wristbands, or the band that was like kind of organizing this whole wristband system. They weren't there, so they couldn't give out the wristbands. They told us it's usually supposed to happen at 8 a.m. every day. However, we were informed that it wasn't going to happen until 11 a.m. Now, mind you, at this point, I'm like in my pajamas. I'm not like at all ready for a concert. I haven't eaten in hours, and I've also been like, I've needed to use the restroom for a while, and I've just been holding it because I'm like, we're almost at 8 a.m. It doesn't matter. So it wasn't the greatest situation. I wasn't feeling the best, but I was also like, it's fine because it's all gonna be fine once we just get those wristbands. Then I can get out of here, go to my hotel, and like actually sleep for a little bit. And then it didn't actually end up being at 11 a.m. It actually was, I think, like 9:15ish, maybe a little bit after that we did get our wristbands, and that was when I got this wristband right here. So I was number 66, I guess. So the security had told us that they were just gonna abide by the yellow wristbands. They didn't, so whatever. There was some people who cut and got the wristband before us, which kind of sucked, but I was actually really surprised to see that I got 66, because I was like, did 20 people really cut in front of me? Like, I didn't know. I had no idea. I still was like, okay, it's fine. I got number 66. Who cares? The moment I got the wristband, I called an Uber. I went over to my hotel, and I just like took a nap for a few hours because I was so dead and just so tired. So then like a couple hours later, I wake up and I begin getting ready. I start getting my fit on. I'll show you a picture of what I was wearing. I was like literally dressed up like Tyler. It was kind of amazing. And then I check the group chats, and everyone's kind of panicking. Everyone's freaking out. What happened, I guess, was the venue kind of messed up, and they gave out the wristbands in a bit of a random order. I don't think it was too random, but like it was enough to where people were definitely really concerned, because there were some people who were like camped out together, and one person got like 152, the other person got like 198. So it definitely, like, there was something going on. I don't know what they did. They like mixed up the wristbands, or I don't know. As far as I'm aware, the wristbands did come from the bands, but the band gave the wristbands to the venue security, and the venue security gave out the wristbands. And I think the venue just wasn't, that they weren't aware that the wristbands were they were to keep the line in a particular order, because they were only giving out 500 of these wristbands. So I think the security just thought, oh, it's just first 500, first come, first serve, who cares? So people went up to security and were asking them like, hey, what's up with this? And they had said, oh, whoops, it doesn't matter though. You're just like, who cares? The number on your wristband doesn't really matter. It's just like, you're still gonna get in. It's, you know, everyone's going to the same place. Who cares? And yeah, that pissed off like just about everyone, because imagine camping out and then being told, yeah, no, it doesn't matter. It actually doesn't matter. Like you could have gotten there right when they were giving out the wristbands, gotten like number 400 and just came back at the right time and would have been fine. I get back to the line at like 2 p.m. because again, I thought that Mark's video, because okay, Mark, who's like the video dude for 21 Pilots, if you don't know, he does a video for We Don't Believe What's on TV where he shows the fans waiting in line, and it gets put up on the big screen during the show. I wanted to be a part of that. That's why I got there, like, I think like a little bit after 2 o'clock, but I guess that was too late, or I guess he didn't go to our line. I actually don't know what happened, but I was never in that video. I never saw him coming around. I get to the line though, and I ask like, because in my mind, I'm like, okay, this is stupid. There's no way that they're just gonna like not honor the wristbands, because I literally camped out for this. I go up to someone in line. I'm like, hey, I'm number 66. What number are you? Are we lining up in order? And they were like, oh, I think what's gonna happen is we're just gonna bring the whole line into the venue, and then they're gonna rearrange us in the order, and then they'll bring us into the pit. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. So I just get in line thinking that we're okay. But then over the course of, I think, the 4 hours that I waited, it got kind of insane in the group chats. People were not happy because I guess a lot of people were going up to the security asking them like the same question that I had. And the security was like, yeah, no, stop asking us about the wristbands. The wristbands don't mean anything. You're dumb for even thinking that they would mean anything. Why would you ever camp out for a concert, dummy? I mean, I don't think they said that, but there was like, I guess, a main security person who was like really, really upset about anyone even asking about wristbands, which is crazy. Because like, bro, what, like, we worked hard for these wristbands, bro. Come on. Essentially, the security was saying like, hey, it's not our job to enforce the line. If you want to line up in order of your wristband, you can do so, but like, we're not enforcing that. Which is dumb, because like, that's literally your job. Like, what do you mean it's not our job? So I don't know. It was just such a mess of a situation, and I was not happy because like, this is my first time ever camping out for a show. I did it by myself. Also, I was gonna do it with my friend that went to the Bellwether show, but then I couldn't do it with her because she was at the Bellwether show. So, oh, okay. Another funny thing that happened was there was like someone that was there from Live Nation who I actually don't exactly know what she was doing. I think she was documenting the event or something. She had like a red shirt that said Live Nation like on like right here. At one point, I saw her and like a group of like 4 or 5 other security people in like a circle, and she was like yelling at them. She was pissed off, and I don't know what they were talking about, but I would assume that she was mad about the wristband thing, because I'm pretty sure like she had said that she's been to multiple shows and it's not supposed to go like this. So I thought that was kind of funny. I was also kind of hoping like, hey, maybe something comes out of this and we get our spots back, but no, it didn't really work out like that, because what actually ended up happening was it was a little bit crazier. So at 6 o'clock, the line finally starts moving in. We get into where they're gonna like actually open the gates and let us into the pit. And I'll show you like where that is on the map for reference. It's like about right here. At this point, I've kind of accepted like I'm probably just gonna get a kind of not so good spot in the pit, but like whatever, I'm about to see 21 Pilots live. It's fine. There were 5 different gates though. It was like maybe 5 or 6 gates when we got to the main area where they were gonna let us in for the pit. The fans themselves started being like, okay, let's line up based on number. Everyone who's 0 to 100, get behind this gate. Everyone that's 100 to 200, get behind this gate. So I'm like, oh, okay, let me try to get in my spot, because like I camped out for this. Come on, I want a good spot. So I get to like roughly where I'm supposed to be. I was behind like number like 56 or something like that. I was maybe in like around the middle to the back of the like 0 to 100 line. And I had assumed, because we were all lining up behind different gates, that they had just talked to security and said, hey, just open these gates like in this order so that like we actually go through in the right order. They open our gate first, and so we start walking. But then the people that are like right next to us for on the 100s line, they start merging into our line. So and because none of this is being enforced by security, it's like they don't care. They literally said it's up to us if we want to enforce the numbers. So it's just annoying because it's very clearly like a safety issue because there's so many people trying to run towards one area, like hundreds of people running towards one area, and there's no like semblance of a line at this point. It's like free for all. Everyone's just kind of like running towards this one area. Mind you, everyone has like big black boots on because like that's kind of just what people dressed up as, because that's what Tyler has for his outfit, myself included. So like I wasn't trying to like run or anything because like I don't want to get anyone hurt. Like that would make me feel awful. So I was just trying to like not get hurt, but also like kind of walk quickly so that we get to where I'm supposed to get. We kind of get into this one area where we're merging in to a queue, and they give us this pink wristband, which doesn't have a number or anything. It's just like access to the pit basically. So at this point I've got 3 different wristbands on. Kind of crazy. As far as I'm aware, I don't think anyone got injured, but I genuinely would not be surprised if anyone did get injured just from how chaotic the scene was. I wish I had filmed it, but it seemed like everyone was like very much not caring for each other. They were just trying to trample and get over each other, which is really sad because I feel like everything that I had seen before with like the line being a very, I don't know, like organized system just from the fans themselves, it seemed like everything was going to go well and no one was going to get hurt. But then because the security didn't want to do their jobs and like work with us, then it just turned into like just a show when everyone was just kind of let in at the same time. I'll show you a picture of where, like what part of the pit I was in. I got here, which in hindsight, because I had just saw like the very right side of the stage was empty. So I was like, oh, perfect. Let me just like go right here. This is kind of close to barricade. But I didn't know that they like weren't going to use that side of the stage at all. If I had known, I probably would have just gone for the middle, because even like being in the middle of the pit in the middle would have been better, because I don't know, maybe like I can hold them up during trees or something. Regardless though, I was doing this with the intention of being barricade, and I didn't get it. I didn't get it because of security, because I asked this friend that went to the Bellwether. I like saw her the next day. She's done this multiple times, like being barricade for 21 Pilots, so she kind of knows like generally what's going on, and she told me that with the number I got, I should have been barricade. So I don't know, man. That's just... Even with, like, after I had gotten to my spot and just seeing how many people were going for where I kind of was generally, I am convinced that if I hadn't camped out, I probably would have gotten a similar spot. I didn't need to camp out. I didn't need to sleep on the ground in a sleeping bag overnight. When it rained like twice. It was very light rain, but it did rain like 2 times that night. And I just remember thinking when it was raining on me, I was like, okay, it's fine. It's all going to make sense once, like, you know, I get barricade. But then that never happened. So I don't know. It really upset me. I still had a good time at the show. Don't get me wrong. Like it was amazing. I can't complain that much because, you know, I did get to see them live. I also went to the LA show in seats and they played downstairs and that was amazing. But yeah, to end on a good note, I guess, I mean, the show was amazing. I've seen them. That was my 5th time seeing them, and then I saw them in LA, so that's 6 times that I've seen them. This is the first tour that I've seen them twice for, so like the previous 4 times were from different tours. I saw them for Emotional Roadshow, Bandito Tour, the Icy Tour? Yeah, the Icy Tour. And then Bandito Tour. And then I saw him twice for the Bandito Reach Tour. Or, sorry, what am I saying? Bandito? I meant to say Clancy. I don't know why I said Bandito. Whatever. You know what I mean. But it's just, it was just annoying because it's always been like something on my bucket list to be barricade at a 21 Pilots show. And this was the one time that I was like, okay, I've got time off work. I'm like actually going to lock in and try and get this done. And then it just didn't work because the venue just decided to not like do good. So whenever they do another tour, I'm gonna try again. At least now I kind of know what to expect. I'm just gonna make sure that the venue that I do it with is not like garbage. Leave a comment if this happened to you at this show. All I know is that I'm not going to be going back to this venue, the North Island Credit Union Amphitheater, and I would probably encourage other people to not go to it. I mean, it was a fine venue. It's just that like I personally was just so, they really dropped the ball. Like again, this is like a bucket list thing for me. I need to see them in the front row. And that's all I wanted from them. And then I didn't get that because the security just did not, like, they literally just didn't want to do their job. They literally said multiple times, it's not our job to enforce the line. Yes, it is. That's literally, go to any other show of theirs. That's literally what they're supposed to do. Whatever. Anyways, anyways, hope you enjoyed this video. If you like this, you can subscribe. I have just a bunch of random stuff. I don't know what I'm doing with this channel. I'm just putting whatever I want on it. So just subscribe, and I'll see you guys.